Good evening and welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. I'm Tony Rathman.
And I am Cherie. How are you guys?
I am Chris Allgood.
And I am Audrey Keeler.
Tonight we have a very special guest. We have paranormal investigator and researcher Matt Benton. He also is the host of Devil's Hour, and he is also the director, producer, writer, and everything in between for Devil's Hour production. So welcome, Matt.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. I don't know about special, but thanks.
All right, so I guess the very first question, and I'm sure a question that our audience is very interested in, is what got you into the paranormal, Matt, and how did you end up going down the road to where you're at today?
Well, I was interested in the paranormal because of a lot of experiences back when I was a child. That's what grabbed my interest. But I actually didn't become an investigator or decide to become an investigator until all the way to 2011, summer of 2011. I had an experience at the Old Washoe Club. I had those experiences as a child, but I never tried to communicate with them. I was seeing shadow people all the time and all that. And then during 2011, I decided at the Old Washoe Club for the first time, ask a question. I asked if there was a little girl spirit here, if he could please move something or make some kind of noise. And sure enough, a piece of brick was thrown. Wow. And that's what got me hooked. Because that's when I realized, whoa, you can actually interact with them and get a response. I had an experience at the Old Washoe Club. I had those experiences as a child, but I never audio.
Sorry, yep.
So that I went down that rabbit hole right after that. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know that's usually the instance for almost everyone we've ever interviewed about their existence into the paranormal. Either they grew up with it very, very young and were seeing spirits as a child, or there was some traumatic event that happened that, you know, shocked them, blew away their ideas of, you know, what could happen and what can't happen, and of course then leads them down the path. That's kind of what happened to me. Chris, on the other hand, was the opposite. Grew up seeing spirits his whole life.
You're a very skeptic person.
I was a complete non-believer 11 years ago. No doubt about it. I mean, I didn't think any of it was real, and you know, I couldn't even sit through the ghost shows because it seemed like television to me. But now, obviously, you dragged me into it. And here I am today.
So I'm not BS anymore?
No.
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, not according to paranormal, but with other things, definitely. So anyway, that's really cool, Matt. And you just came back from California, right? Were you out there doing something?
I'm not in my normal setup right now.
Okay.
So I'm still here. I'm going back tomorrow. Back home.
Okay. All right.
I was out here. I've been working on a very good video, I would say, when it comes to evidence. So I can't wait to release it.
Wow.
So
awesome.
That's one of those ones that should be on this show too, but it's not released yet.
Well, we'll have you back on again to show that one, but very cool.
Or if you want to go ahead and put it on our show, you can, man.
I can watch it on the premiere on the YouTube.
Too funny, but yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. How long were you out there? A week?
8 days total.
8 days. Very cool.
I have family out here. I was born and raised in California. So
nice.
Which part?
Temecula and Vista, Oceanside, all that area.
Okay.
I moved around, but most of my years up towards the high school and everything was Temecula. So
okay,
Nice
little town.
Very cool.
Nice area.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into one of Matt's clips because for any of our audience out there tonight, he's really submitted some really cool evidence tonight that we're going to play. And the first one I'm going to play is, and Matt, I'll let you give an intro to this, but it's the back scratch one. You want to just give a little background on where you were, what you were doing there, what happened before I play this clip.
Is this one the client one? Because I've caught a few scratches. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So basically, this one was a case I found interesting. Someone was claiming a lot of extreme claims. Her name was Tony. She was doing a lot of. She was mentioning things about objects being moved, personal attacks and stuff like that, shadow people, all that. And so we took the case. It sounded pretty extreme. So we went, and I started to believe that there was a lot involved in this that was more than just a haunting. It seemed more like something attached to her and was associated with Tony. And so it was either an attachment or a poltergeist situation where it was her causing the activity. I don't know 100%. But she, in the middle of the investigation, I believe this was night one. Yeah, this was night one. And all of a sudden, she starts complaining about burning on her back, which is the clear sign. First thing you think of, for me as an investigator at least, is check the back, because it's most likely scratches. Like what's always reported when people are scratched is the burning sensation. So, and then we do that, and I film it, and then you might be able to see something forming in front of your eyes. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm about to play this for our audience. I'm actually going to mute your guys' mics while it plays. I think this is about a 4-minute clip, so it's a little long, but great evidence here, and we'll talk about it after this plays. So here is the clip.
Wait, your back's burning?
Oh my god. She can't do that herself.
Go forward.
Look at
into the light.
Into the light. There's that. I told you. Look, right here and right here.
I do see it.
But she can't do that.
That's a wide light.
And right before you had the back spasm, something went across her.
Want me to get the light?
Put your head down. No, actually, I do see it better with that. There's big scratches.
1, 2, 3. And that was before I had it back.
3.
Yours is too bright.
Mocking of the Trinity. Actually, I liked hers better on the camera.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it shows a little bit better on that. It's because her skin's glistening, so it makes it better. Whoa. It's getting better.
It's burning.
It's getting
bad.
darker.
It's getting darker.
And it's not even, it's like, it's raised a little. Look at that.
It's raising. It's getting
Look at that.
worse. It's getting worse. Hold on. Hold on. I need to record this whole thing. I need to record this whole thing.
That one's raising a little. It's hot.
It's hot. Which is definitely the report.
And right up.
It's 3 large.
4.
There's 4 now.
This one's coming in.
Yeah, and there's
Oh my God,
there's
guys,
one up here
guys,
too.
no, wait, keep recording. Wait, stop this.
Do not move your flashlight.
Okay, we were recording evidence of freaking. This is appearing in front of our eyes.
What is it? And it's
Don't remove that flashlight. We were getting evidence of scratches forming in front of our eyes. It's still forming. I see it getting larger. What is this camera? I can see it getting larger. Dwayne, you're missing out on this.
There's another one.
That's 17. There's one at the top right.
Dude,
Right there.
we are capturing scratches forming in front of our eyes.
And they're raised.
Wow, that was absolutely
So crazy.
that was absolutely amazing. And the thing I liked most about that particular clip is that, you know, she felt the burning sensation prior to even knowing what had happened, and then you can actually see them develop and raise and become more proficient as Matt's filming. So that was really cool, Matt.
There's one scratch in particular that was getting larger. The other ones are still there. It was just one that was on the third one that was forming still. And that's the one that I thought was very intriguing. And that's also the time when I realized maybe we're not the best at client cases, because I was like wanting to capture this instead of thinking about the client at that moment.
You know what? And that's the question I was going to ask before I just played that. Hopefully the client was okay with us publicly sharing that, correct?
Yeah. She seems fine with it. And so basically she already knew about the whole situation, and also she was okay with it. She actually wanted the episode out. It was something that I found intriguing, and I even like, here's the thing, even though like I saw one forming and everything, there's still that skeptical side where I always have going into investigation. I was like, what if, like, I don't know, maybe she was scratched like beforehand without me knowing, and then all of a sudden there was these. I decided to do something to myself, which is I scratched myself in multiple different ways to see if I could get a similar reaction she did. And I used a knife, I used a paperclip, and I used fingernails. And all three of those did not look anything like hers. So I found that intriguing. If you watch the full video, it's on the PRU case files, my first episode for that series. And so that is where you check that out. But basically, there's scratches I could not recreate.
Yeah,
so,
that was definitely one of the things I was going to say is Matt has a really good way of trying to determine what's going on when he comes across something paranormal. And yes, I didn't put that part into that clip just because of the length. But yeah, Matt actually on the rest of that video, when he had videotaped what we had just saw, then he went back and did a follow-up to it and actually went to the point to scratch his own arm to see how they looked, how they raised, how thin they were, how wide they were, based on a knife scratch, a paperclip scratch, and a fingernail scratch. And like he just said, none of them match. Now that's extreme scientific research to find out, but what he did actually showed that those scratches were not made in that manner or fashion in a way that a typical scratch would be formed. And I totally understand that, because the ones I had, which Matt, you and I talked about just a week or so ago, they're more of a burn. They leave a scratch, but they're more of a burn. So that was.
Now, is this a home investigation? I didn't get to see the video earlier.
Oh yeah, it was a private home investigation.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Well, the intriguing thing about those scratches, even if the way Matt tried to debunk them in the rest of that clip, if you look closely at those scratches, I mean, you'd have to take 3 or 4 prongs out of a yard rake in order to get that span.
Yeah.
And even then, using that, I was thinking through it, even that, using that utensil, removing some of the prongs to get them that straight and parallel is almost impossible.
Especially if it was her trying to do it, I don't see it possible at all.
Right.
I don't either.
My husband was involved. It might have been a little bit more, but it was still, I couldn't recreate the same look, especially fingernails. Fingernails are the first one you would think of as someone trying to pick a scratch. And fingernails were way too fat looking when it came to, and I show that in the video on my channel. So.
Yeah, that was really cool. Plus, it was the typical 3 mocking the Trinity scratches. Of course, there was a little fourth one that started to appear at the end, but the scratches were from the top down, and that even with a tool, Chris, like you said, even if she had a 3-pronged whatever, you'd have to be going around to be able to have it start on top and go down. Typically, if you were to do it yourself.
It's going from down
so
to
right. The view of the way the scratches appeared was opposite of what you would easily be able to do unless you literally. But those don't look like those type of scratches to me. That looks like a typical paranormal one.
So, question for you, Matt. Those scratches were slowly forming as you were filming, and then you see that one scratch at the end that starts to form, that new scratch that starts to form. Do you think that the 3 were originally from something that happened prior to you starting to filming, and then the fourth one happened as you were filming? Do you think that maybe the energy was there doing it as you were filming it?
I believe that it was in the process of happening, and that's why she was complaining about burning. And then while we were filming it, another one was in the middle of forming. And that's why I was saying, keep the camera on it. I need to keep the camera on it because this is good evidence.
Yeah, that's exactly why I asked that question, because I heard you saying in the clip, keep the camera on it.
Even though I fumbled my words a little bit because I was in the moment, and also, I don't know, sometimes my brain does weird things on certain days. But basically, I was fumbling with my words a little bit. But yeah, basically, I was saying keep the camera on it, even though I'm the one holding the camera. I meant to keep the light on it, is what I meant to say. yeah. So basically, that's what unfolded during that moment, and yeah, it was interesting. So.
Hey, we've all been in that holy shit moment during an investigation where you're trying to record something and at the same time your adrenaline kicks in because you know it's happening in front of your face. That's phenomenal. That was a phenomenal clip.
Yeah, that was an amazing clip, and thank you so much for sharing, and let her know thanks for sharing too. But just out of curiosity, after all that, what happened with that case? Was there what was going on? I mean, obviously she had something in there vicious. I can't determine it's demonic, but it's definitely one angry spirit. But what was any resolution that came from that?
So basically, I gave her some resolutions. It worked for a bit, and it came back. But
Normally does.
That happens.
Yeah, that usually is what happens. I was away at the times, and too, so I couldn't really do anything. I had, I believe, talked to Dwayne about it and everything. They said if they want to do anything, they can. And certain team members that were part of the team at the time also. So, but yeah, that's basically, I think two of them did go back to Sage again, but that's about it. But that's all I know. And actually now I haven't really heard from her in a while. And I tried to get a hold of her again, and I am not able to find anything from her anymore. So I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, hopefully, hopefully it was taken care of. But I think every house we've ever tried to clean, we've been there at least twice, if not more.
Oh yeah.
Because
you
always start small, hoping to alleviate it,
right.
And then when it's something more serious, it takes multiple trips to finally clear everything. So totally understand.
Now, were you disappointed, Matt, because you didn't get scratched? Because I was watching you guys when you had the interview with Tony, because you mentioned that you never been scratched before.
Yeah, they don't seem to they don't attack me for some reason. I have no idea why. But I guess it goes based off of what one of some Reiki person that I met in a location did her own thing on me, and she was saying that I have a bigger shield than most people, apparently, is what she was saying. Maybe that's why. I have no idea. It's on the episode. It's a Soul Seeker episode when I was part of that team back in the day. But yeah, she was doing my Reiki, and apparently I have a huge shield, she says. So I don't know. That's the only thing I think of, really, to be honest.
That's possible. Yeah, and Audra.
Very possible.
Yeah, Audra has that, no doubt about it, and they usually don't mess with her, even though we use her for bait. But
as often as we can.
Yeah, but there is some truth to that. I mean, your own personal shield of protection against it definitely has an impact, no doubt about it. But that was a great question, because I was going to say that, and I completely forgot about it. So thank you. But,
so when you're doing the investigation, the residential investigation or anything, do you have any routine prayers or protection?
No, I don't do any of that because I want the worst to happen to me.
Yeah, he does.
It's an honest answer, yeah.
He seriously does. When we were doing the show for Devil's Hour, he was all disappointed that he hadn't been scratched, and he wanted stuff in the house so he could shoot his own episodes from home.
Yeah. But they aren't doing that, so.
Okay, so the next clip I have, and I'll let you give an intro to this, but this is some amazing communication using a it wasn't a REM pod, it was a Melmeter. I think it was right. It was Melmeter.
Yeah, this is back in 2013. It was a Melmeter with a REM antenna on it, and so basically, we're getting a very intelligent communication, the most intelligent communication I've ever had with the spirit. FYI, I was a lot younger, had different beliefs back then, so some of it's embarrassing. Also, my words was fumbling that day too, but yeah. So old video, just FYI. But yes, this is a long time ago, 2013, in the Steam Ferry, Berkeley, is where this was located. But very intelligent responses. This is an 8-minute video for the one I've done on my channel. So if you want to watch the whole thing, I don't know if you're showing the whole 8 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a shorter version, but it captures a middle segment of the communication, which I thought was just amazing.
Oh, it is amazing.
Yeah, it's a great clip. So anyway, let me play that for our audience. I'm just gonna mute mics here.
Okay.
And now they can't hear me. And here comes that clip now.
What you're about to see is the most intelligent communication with the dead that Soul Seekers has captured so far.
This is a powder horn. This is a Kentucky rifle.
It's going off again. When we talk about this stuff, it's like you guys.
We're not even really near the items.
Yeah, it just went off. So, can you speak into this device right here? Speak into this device in my right hand.
Oh shit.
Did this gun kill you? Was this your weapon? Okay. Yeah, so this was your weapon, huh? That's pretty cool. What's your name? Are you speaking into this device in my right hand right here? That's how we could hear you, and you could tell us what your name is. This is really, really cool. We are liking you. Why don't all spirits do this with us? Just talk to us like this. Do you like us being here? Yes? Did you miss having paranormal investigators in here?
I don't think it did.
So you don't miss having paranormal investigators here? Do you even know what that is? Paranormal? Well, yes. Okay. Cool. We know that you are a strong spirit because you are breaking that field. So I'm pretty sure you can speak into this device in my right hand. Did we lose him?
Did one of these items belong to you?
Oh. Why is it so important about the items? Is there some kind of clue in here for us? Do you want us to read something out of this?
Let's
New Orleans. Were you in the New Orleans battle?
Battle of New Orleans. Were you in the New Orleans Battle of New Orleans during the War of 1812? Spike this in order to tell us that you were here, that you were there, actually.
Yes. That's so cool.
That's fucking strong, though.
I know, you are a strong spirit. How do you build up all this energy? Is it because of all the EMF and water that we're surrounded by? Yes. That's cool. You just gave us some paranormal information that most paranormal investigators wonder if that's true, and you kind of backed that up for us.
Did you get killed in New Orleans? Were you killed there?
Yes. Okay.
What the hell is that?
Okay, we know that you were killed there. Thank you for serving for our country.
What the fuck was that?
You're freaking awesome, you know that, right? We wish we get more spirits like you. Oh, I just got a fell cold breeze.
You did?
Yeah, up near my hand. Does that mean you're talking to this device in my right hand?
Do you know what that device is? Do you know that it records your voice and you can communicate with us through it? Did you hear that woman?
We just heard singing. We just heard singing.
We just heard a singing woman upstairs.
And we caught it on this voice recorder. I know we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty good.
I don't think I've ever seen communication of that length or of that magnitude with a millimeter and a REM antenna That was incredible, man.
I wish mine works like that.
It does. We just gotta teach you how to use it right.
I know. Right?
Oh, damn.
Damn.
It goes offline and you're like, touch this, and it's screaming in the middle of a cemetery at 2 a.m. and it works.
One thing to keep in mind, like that's the only time I've ever caught anything like that. So, so it's very rare.
Yeah, it's very rare, and that was my whole point. I've never seen anything that consistent. So whatever spirit that was, definitely,
or that blaze is very active.
Well, yeah, and very much so wanted to communicate, because you'd ask a question and sometimes there was no reply, so it wasn't it was only the answers he wanted you to know that he was making it react to. That was literally very incredible.
That was incredible. Yeah, I got to tell you, Matt, Audra and I did an investigation in Ohio 2 weeks ago where we just got phenomenal communication with a K2 at one of the oldest cemeteries in Ohio. And I was so pumped. And then I saw your clip and I'm like, God damn it. Matt's got better communication than we got. And I haven't posted the evidence yet, but then I saw your clip and I'm like, okay, I'll post it a couple weeks after Matt.
Oh man, post it. It's like everyone's evidence is important, in my opinion.
I appreciate that, but it wasn't as it was good communication, but it wasn't as good as that one.
Like I said, it's the only time I ever caught anything like that. Like I wish I could keep getting them, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
sad, because I love actually having a conversation like that. It's pretty awesome. It's
fantastic when you get
feels like once in a lifetime probably so far. It's like that because I've been doing this for 9 years and still only caught that one time. So.
Yeah, those don't happen very often, and most of the major breakthroughs when getting something paranormal, I mean, you can spend a lifetime trying to capture it, but what you had there, that's going to be hard to beat from anybody, because that was phenomenal. No doubt about it.
Yeah, very cool piece.
Maybe it had something to do with being on a ship, because I believe in flowing water having an effect with some locations that have the giving more activity because of the EMF that it creates and all that. So I think there's something to it when it comes to being around flowing water.
Couldn't agree more.
Could not agree more either. That we've seen that time and time and time again, where when you've got access to, or the spirits have access to, flowing water, underground wells, rivers, lakes, it does. It has to produce some sort of, I don't know if it's EMF energy or how they use it or how it works, but that pattern shows up time and time again. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There's been also scientific data collected about flowing water creating electromagnetic energy. So that's the reason why I mentioned that. So it was really it shows that in certain locations. Like I hear about lighthouses being extremely active, and the 2 ships I've investigated have been extremely active. So that could be something to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Send me that article if you get a chance. I'd love to read that.
Yeah, please, because scientists, they're constantly trying to devalue what we do as paranormal investigators, but at the same time, they build Hoover Dam and they create thousands and thousands of miles of electricity through water coming out of Lake Mead. But when we say that water contributes to paranormal activity because it creates energy, we're nuts. So yeah, I'd like to see that article too.
It was actually a team that did that research. Crap, I forgot their name. They're from Texas. But basically they did do some try and capture some results towards that. And I could not, I'll have to look for it, but it was a long time ago when I saw them do that. So I thought that was good research towards the field.
Great.
So it kind of validates my experiences with flowing water areas. So even the Halesbar Dam was pretty active. So.
Oh yeah.
What Jen said, flowing water is magic.
Well, and I'm sure there's some truth to that. And there's absolutely no scientific reason why flowing water could not create EMF energy or electromagnetic frequency. I mean, it's absolutely possible. And
I can't remember. It was a version of electromagnetic energy, though.
Yeah.
There's lots of different variations of it. So.
Very cool. That was awesome. All right. So the next one, and this is the next couple ones are actually some of my favorites that you sent over. But this one This one's fascinating to me. This is an energy orb. I don't know what else to call it.
Oh yeah.
Mass.
It's amazing. Can you give a little background where you were, where you caught this, what kind of camera you were using? Because that was one of my first questions when watching the video was what kind of camera did you, or video camera did you capture this on?
It was okay. So this is when I was first starting out in the paranormal. I was young. I was like 16 or 17 years old during this time, and I got a very cheap $180 Bell & Howell camera that had night vision on it, and it was 1080p, but still to me it doesn't look that 1080p. It's very grainy, but it was a camera at the time that was said to be night vision. I didn't know that at the time because I was young. I didn't know that Sony's had night shot and all that. That was the night vision for Sony's, all that stuff. But I didn't learn that until later. And so the first night vision camera I found back in the paranormal of 2011 or 2012, I think, for this one, and was a Bell & Howell. So that's what I captured this on. And I even show differences of what a flashlight looks like with that camera, the exact same camera. It looks exactly how you expect it to look, which is a bright white light. And then during this investigation at the Vail Ranch historical site here in Temecula, I actually captured something that I did not see at the time, I think, and that's the one thing I should note because we did not see this visually. It was caught on the camera, and I do not remember any red lights anywhere from any of the team, and that's the only thing I could think of that can maybe create that because I don't have that camera anymore, so I can't test it out. But if anyone else that has that very crappy Bell & Howell camera from back in the day, please try that out and send it to me because red light's the only thing I can think of, and I do not remember any of the team having a red light. Even back in that time period, I even thought about that, and I still didn't remember anyone having a red light. So that's the only time it was captured during the whole entire investigation. We stayed there all night too. So
awesome. Well, let me play this for our audience. This is an amazing clip, and we'll talk about it once this plays. So here it comes.
Awesome.
That's absolutely fascinating, and
it's kind of like a silhouette.
It's a ball of energy. You can see the movement of the energy inside what looks like a thin-celled container that's holding it. It shifts shape, it expands and retracts. It moves in what looks like fluid motion, and then at the end it just darts away. But a circular motion or a circular sphere is the easiest for any shape of energy to form in, and that clearly is what it formed in. That's a phenomenal capture, Matt. Just phenomenal.
It's intriguing because like you even see it go past the guy that was holding the voice recorder with the little mic on top, and we went with another paranormal team called Old Town Paranormal or something like that, and yeah, that went right past him. I didn't notice it because you know how when we investigate, sometimes we look around, especially when I was younger, I was doing that a lot more. When I was first starting out, I was just looking around, not looking at the camera, and we didn't see it. We didn't react to it. And sure enough, after reviewing, that was what was captured, and still couldn't really explain it. So it was very intriguing. Tried to explain it many times. The only thing I could think of is, like I said, the red light, and I didn't see any red lights there. So,
yeah.
What do you think is that?
It's either a paranormal energy or a natural energy that he picked up on the camera, because there's tons of natural energy that forms that can be picked up on FLIRs and other cameras, and there's nothing necessarily paranormal about it. Mm-hmm. But a cylindrical ball of energy is very common. But that one was strange because I watched over and over the motions of it, trying to see if anybody was holding anything that would be reflecting light or anything else, and there's not. And I was even looking at the gentleman who was holding the recorder, trying to think, okay, is there some night vision bouncing off the mic or something that was attached? And it doesn't follow fluid motions when the recorder moves. And then at the end, it not only changes direction, but it changes speed, and it completely shoots right by the gentleman holding the camera. So judging by what I appear and what I've seen in the video, I would say if it's going to be any type of energy, paranormal would have been, because it was following him for a while, and then it hovered for a bit, and then shot past and gone. That was amazing.
Well, not just the way it was reacting, but if you look closely at the edge, it's not a perfect ball. You can see the edges undulating. It's not a perfect circle. You can actually see the edges of the energy moving in almost like I don't know how to describe it, but you can almost like a ball of water floating in the air.
Right.
Fluid.
Yeah. You can
it's a fluid movement.
You can see the circular motion of the energy inside, and you're right. It doesn't stay a perfect cylindrical shape. It stretches. It moves. If you were looking under a microscope, that's what I would expect to see, like some sort of microorganism, how it moves.
Right. Yeah. Reacts. Exactly.
One thing I found interesting about it, because I know cameras, and as you can see in the middle of that mass, it looks like it might be producing some sort of light. I don't know if it's an IR spectrum because we didn't see it, but it seemed like a form of light because there was less pixelation within that mass.
That's true.
And so like around it, there was more pixelation, or graininess. So it seemed like it had some form of light, maybe not visible to the naked eye, but yes.
So cool. That was an awesome capture. No doubt about it. All right. So I am going to move on to another one of Matt's clips, and this one is just as fascinating. But this clip is you filming a door shutting by itself. You want to give a little background as to where, how, what you were doing there, why you decided to film to see if the door would close, all that sort of info.
So I was filming at multiple locations by myself for 3 days, and in these locations, and I was isolated at this one for 12 hours, and a little bit over 12 hours, and this one was very interesting. I got something in the morning. There was a point where I just wanted to sit down and try and communicate and have no equipment on me and just have a set up camera and just sit down, try and meditate and feel my surroundings out. And then this was something that happened that I cannot completely explain. The doors, actually the video shows it. So here, you just play it, and I'll go in more into it, but after that.
We'll do that. But before I play it, couple of questions that are coming up in the chat room. Derek wants to know if you've ever had any regrets about decisions you've made in the paranormal field.
Yeah, I've had regrets.
That clears it up, and I think everybody has. I mean, we've all made mistakes. We've all done things that we say, I'm not doing that again.
I'm young. and yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. And I was in love and stupid. That's what. So
We all grow, right?
Yeah.
Every day we're learning and
Yeah.
moving on.
Well,
So
here's how life happens. Life happens is we make the decisions that we feel are best for what we need to do in life. And unfortunately, some people get hurt in that process. And if they do, it's unfortunate. And we don't mean to do that in life, but sometimes that happens. And we just got to move forward. And as long as we all support each other, that's what's important.
yeah. By the way, Interface Death is an awesome team. I recommend following them. They're a very scientific-minded group, and they are the future of paranormal research. I think they should be definitely followed by a lot more people. Interface Death, shout out to them. They're really good.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
All right, let me play that clip for them so they can see this, and then Matt will talk more about this. So here's the clip of the door slamming, and here it comes now.
Okay. Push the door as hard as you can. They got something right there, a leaf, to test out if there's any wind going on here. Will this leaf move? Will that leaf move erratically when that door gets shut? We'll see. So if you can shut the door as hard as you can, so we know for a fact it's you. You need it on cue. Gain your energy right now. Just gain that energy. Push the door as hard as you can. Leaf not moving. The leaf is not moving that much at all. Leaf is not moving. The leaf is not moving. Okay, now it is. Okay. Now that's interesting. Shut this pretty hard.
Okay, that was so cool. You had set that up perfectly. Your camera angles were great. You could tell the leaf was there. That if any wind gust had come through, that would have been the first thing to fall. But my question is, and I'm sure you've probably done other filming projects like this, how long did you have to film before that actually occurred?
long time. Like it didn't happen the night of, because I investigated during the night too. It didn't happen during the night. Then during the day, I decided to try out that again. And what was interesting about this one is because, yes, the wind can shut those doors. They can. So the thing is, like, I wanted to put a leaf there for during that one particular moment, see if it was the wind or not. And it was a situation where the leaf didn't move. And also it seemed like I also showed footage of one of the doors shutting, but there's a lot more wind involved. So I don't know what was up with that. It was very interesting, and when I was trying to get it to happen, I was not feeling like really any wind. Very slight breezes, and that's about it, but not enough to shut it. And yeah, so that was very interesting. It was one of the ones that I wish things on command would happen more often.
Right.
Yeah, that would be nice. That usually does not happen. But for you to have been able to catch that while filming, that alone was a feat in itself, let alone the fact that the leaf stayed on the wall, the door closed. Really cool. Really, really cool.
I'm still trying to figure out, Matt, after you went through all of that, how you didn't do that Michael Jordan final shot, won the championship jump with your arm in the air. I mean, it's hard to do when you're filming and you finally get the response that you're looking for in paranormal research. That was a phenomenal clip. I'm trying to figure out how you maintain control while you're filming there.
Well, when you're isolated for a long time, your mind is in a different place. Like, you're not speaking to people. So it's more of like your mind goes a little numb. And yeah, during that moment, I was like, usually I get excited about things, but this time I was just more of like calm. And I was like that a lot for Man vs. Paranormal, because being not talking to people for a long period of time kind of gets to you a little bit. It's kind of a psychological thing, especially for me, because I'm a talkative type person. And me in particular, I just got more, what do you call, I guess you would call, I'm trying to think of the word, I can't think of it, but my brain stimuli was kind of lower at the time. So
okay, that explains it.
Yeah,
awesome.
Amazing capture though, and actually goes right along with the next one that I'm going to play, and the next one that I have up is actually a window shutter.
Oh yeah.
So you want to give a little history and info on this clip?
So yeah, we got invited to a location by Scott. Rest in peace to Scott. He's no longer with us. He was a cool guy. Scott Runyon or Runyon. So I think that's the last name. Sorry if I messed that up. But anyway, he invited us over there, saying that there's some locations that a certain owner has. He has multiple buildings there. We got access to that one house. Apparently, some construction workers saw a woman there. And also reports, apparently there was a suicide that happened there in the past. So we decided to investigate it, and sure enough, we caught this. And there was a couple other personal experiences we had that wasn't filmed at the time, because it was before we arrived, and there was another person, one of my team members was there when they experienced it. And so, yeah, there's multiple reports there. We decided to investigate, and this is what happened, basically.
All right, well, let me bring up this clip, and for our audience, here it comes now.
Turn my airplane mode back.
Oh, to see if your phone interferes with the...
Yeah, because what you heard is going to be captured on there.
Was that you, Tanya?
No, it was over here.
Oh.
It was that. There.
Was that you, Tanya?
No, it was over here.
Oh.
It was that. It was the windows.
Okay.
Did you close the windows?
Huh?
Did you close the windows?
That one's wide open. There's no window there.
No, I mean, because I just saw it. It was closing. It closed in. You were recording this way. Are the windows in the shop?
I don't think I got it.
Wow.
That was fascinating. And
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
well, the coolest part was that, you know, it didn't even look like it was planned to be captured. You know, he was just filming Matt, and you just happened to see, and that was the only one of the two that shut, right? The left side stayed open, correct?
Yeah, so it stayed in the same position. And also, one thing that I thought was interesting is how when I was just literally turning my phone on to airplane mode, because, you know, it affects mics sometimes because of the signal. Yeah. So there's no static or anything. So I was turning my phone on airplane mode when we're filming, waiting for the owner. And then that all of a sudden happened. And also the thing I show later in the video, like everyone can watch these videos online on Devil's Hour Productions on YouTube. But I did another breakdown process of like, where would be the wind source to shut it? Because on the right side, there's no windows. It's all boarded up. And so there's nothing on the right side, and it had to be some kind of wind source coming that direction to even shut it if it was the wind, and there wasn't any. So it was very weird that happened. So
yeah, that was incredible. And just, you know, you don't see, and I think I remember in the original clip too, you were pointing out that you even tried to blow air on them, and the one that closed was like 2-3 times as hard to get even to move as the easier one, which didn't move. So yes. Again, just evidence in support of that, you know, that was purposely moved by something or someone.
It looks like a shadow figure.
You saw a shadow?
It looks like a shadow figure to me.
That I didn't see the shadow, but I definitely saw the shutter.
I have to watch that clip again.
Yeah.
Do you want to play that clip again? It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean I can. Yeah, let me play that one more. I don't remember seeing a shadow, but let me take a look. Let's play it one more time for the audience. Here it comes.
Person there.
Turn my airplane mode back.
Oh, to see if your phone interferes with the...
Yeah, because what you heard is going to be captured on there.
Oh, I think that's the shadow with the thing. I saw it. Well,
Was that you,
there
Tanya?
was definitely a shadow that ran
It was
across
over
it,
here.
but I think
Oh.
it's from
Who's that?
the actual
There.
movement of the shutter. Here, it's close. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Okay, so yeah, you were absolutely right though. There is a shadow that moves across it, but I think the shadow is from
It's
the
from-
the change of the position of the shutter and then light hitting it. So
yeah.
but those are incredible clips, Matt, and it's just it's phenomenal what people actually have captured out there, and thank you so much for coming on and for allowing us to show those, because I mean those are some phenomenal clips.
You have
and,
a great evidence, and appreciate it for sharing.
And here's the awesome thing about the evidence is you've got evidence from investigations at night, and then you've got evidence from investigations in the broad daylight, where a lot of people think the only time ghosts come out are at night. Well, no, if the energy's there, the energy's there.
Yeah, the only reason why we do investigations at night is because there's less contamination, less people awake, less people
Right.
capture audio, and also a little less shadows play, I guess, because less light sources. That's the main reason why nighttime's better. And also, I believe demonics, very rare cases, but we usually do things at night. So that's another different aspect. And when I say demonic, I mean inhuman. I don't know 100% if it's like Christian or anything like that. And stuff like that. But it seems to be a pattern involved with them, and it seems to be more associated at nighttime. So that's why those are the three main reasons I believe we do it at nighttime. Especially, the biggest one for me is contamination of audio. And I don't like a whole bunch of people walking by or laughing and driving by and stuff like that when you're trying to do an EVP session.
Agreed.
Yeah, completely agree. It's a lot calmer at night. It's a lot less commotion, a lot less people moving around, light sources. So yeah, could not agree more. But to Chris's point, we've captured stuff in the hospital middle of the afternoon, just phenomenal.
10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Right. So it does happen if it's haunted or the energy's there. You don't know when it's going to come out, and come out at any time. But so true. So, Matt, anything, I know you were talking about this new video you're working on and getting ready to release. Anything you want to promote, tell people about, places they can look at your work, things like that?
Well, so, right now we're working on a big documentary. This documentary is called The Harrisville Haunting. I've been editing it, not so much on this trip because I didn't have enough room, but it's because it's a big project. But when I go back home, going back to editing that, I am pretty much done with this other video I'm releasing. It's going to be released probably sometime this week. I'm going to premiere it. But this one, great evidence was captured. And I cannot wait to show this one. This is when I did a collaboration with the Haunted Side at Lassen County Hospital. Some of the evidence is already on his channel. But I'll be doing breakdown stuff like you see in my way of doing things on my channel. I do breakdowns. And so some of it's going to be broken down on my channel, and then there's new footage that's never been seen before and evidence that no one's seen yet because of something that happened to Patrick's hard drive. But I still have that footage, and I'm going to be showing that to everyone. And I just discovered something, I believe, yesterday, which I didn't notice before until reviewing it again. Literally, it took me four times on a different day of watching it, and I noticed something when something happens. Can't go too in depth. Yes, premiering sometime this week on Devil's Hour Productions YouTube channel. Please go check out the YouTube channel, Devil's Hour Productions. That's where most of my work is going to be, and in future work, I'm really focusing on that channel. So please, and Devil's Hour Live, you were featured on there. Things did get a little weird towards the end, but
Yeah, I saw Nikki post something about she had picked up all this material, and I commented on her post. I said, oh, she was making face masks, which was really cool under the conditions. But I said, oh, thought you were building Matt's dress.
yeah, the 10,000 subscribers, they'll finally do what the people were keep asking for some weird reason. I don't know why they want me to.
Too funny.
10,000 subscribers will do it. Right now we're at like 4,300 right now, so
halfway there.
Almost halfway.
Well,
Yep.
I can't thank you enough, Matt, for coming on the show, for letting us take a look at some of those absolutely amazing captures. I hope our audience enjoyed those. Anybody see anything in the chat that we may have missed or questions?
I want to give a shout out to Joe Vitale and also Billy and Eric. They're also a part of the documentary. Just want to shout them out. So they're going to be in that too. If they know their channels, Truth Paranormal, and also from PSPR, Paranormal Pursuit,
yep,
and also Epic Paranormal TV. Just want to give them a shout out. So
that's awesome. Yeah, definitely check that out. Check out those groups. They're amazing investigators as well.
And also to all the people that tuned in today, to Jed.
Yeah, Jed, thanks for tuning in. Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
I think Matt just mentioned you, but thank you, Derek. You're going too fast, honey. I can't read that fast. Sam.
It's like the quick credits on TBS.
Oh yeah, they're just flying by, and I'm like, I can't see that.
Of course, Carrie Hopper.
Yeah, Carrie Hopper. We really appreciate all you guys tuning in. I'm sure I've missed people.
Andrea and Francisco are watching, so thanks for tuning in.
Yes, great. The window Cherie's scrolling through is about this big. I can't. They go by so fast I can't read them. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Chris, you want to give our little closing statement?
No matter what happens, guys, stay haunted.
All right. Well, thank you everyone. I am going to say goodnight with this live stream, and have a great night, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Matt. Have a good night, bud.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
it's nice meeting you guys too. And